So you're planning a trip, an adventure perhaps, to the Middle East, a land of ancient wonders and modern marvels. Dubai's on your list, glittering with its iconic skyline, maybe Qatar, with its own unique blend of tradition and innovation. But what about Bahrain? Have you considered this hidden gem? It's that small island, often overlooked, you'd struggle to find on a map, a tiny speck in a sea of sand and oil, the Gulf's quirky little brother, often forgotten in the shadow of its wealthier siblings, who shows up in vintage tees, embracing its own unique style while everyone else flashes Ferraris. A refreshing change of pace, wouldn't you say? Bahrain doesn't scream tourist hotspot. It whispers, inviting you to discover its secrets. No towering skylines reaching for the heavens, no bottomless oil wells gushing with black gold, and its marketing budget, let's just say it's not trying to compete. Probably just a few dusty pamphlets at the airport, relics of a bygone era. But that's its charm. A raw, unfiltered authenticity. It's the underdog, the unexpected contender, the quiet one with a wild backstory, a history etched in stone and whispered on the wind. Here, ancient burial mounds, silent witnesses to civilizations long past, sit beside shiny malls, a testament to Bahrain's embrace of the modern world and the legacy of pearl divers. Brave souls who once plunged into the depths for treasure, lingers in the air, a reminder of Bahrain's rich maritime heritage. Most guides will sell you sun, sea, promising relaxation and escape, and 5-star brunches. Indulge in culinary delights and opulent surroundings. Sure, you'll find those if that's what you're after, but that's missing the point. It's merely scratching the surface. The real Bahrain is in the old souks, bustling with life and vibrant colors, in stories of risk and resilience, tales of survival against all odds, and in the tension of a nation finding its voice, grappling with its identity and future. Why care? Why should you choose Bahrain over the well-trodden path? Because Bahrain is a fascinating case study, a microcosm of the Gulf's complexities in identity, a nation forging its own path, shaped by trade, pearls, the shimmering treasures that once defined its economy, British influence, a legacy of colonialism that continues to shape its institutions, and its people's demands to be heard, their aspirations for a more just and equitable society. It's a kingdom of contrasts, a place where the past and present collide, where tradition and modernity exist side by side, sometimes harmoniously, sometimes in conflict, dance an awkward, graceful waltz. A dance you won't soon forget. Forget what you think you know about the Gulf. Set aside your preconceived notions. Bahrain is here to gently, invitingly, and a little weirdly, in its own unique and unforgettable way, blow your mind. Prepare to be surprised. And yes, of course, you can still get a decent brunch, because even underdogs appreciate a good meal. Before oil, Bahrain's fortune was built on pearls, the Rolls-Royce of ocean gems. For centuries, pearl diving was the island's lifeblood. Men risked everything, diving deep with little more than hope and a nose clip. The nation's economy was built on the chance of finding a shiny rock inside an oyster, a lottery that paid off. Bahrain became the global hub for natural pearls, attracting merchants from India to Europe. The wealth built merchant mansions and put Bahrain on the map long before oil. But for the divers, it was brutal, dangerous, exploitative, and often thankless. Their hardship is a reminder, behind every luxury, there's a story of struggle. Then, in the 1930s, cultured pearls from Japan crashed the market overnight. Bahrain's pearl era ended, but just as the island faced ruin, oil was discovered. Black gold replaced white gems, and Bahrain pivoted to a new future. The pearl diver's legacy, courage, craftsmanship, and a story worth telling. The era ended, but the legend remains. To honor its pearling past, Bahrain created the Pearling Path, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Sounds magical, right? In reality, it's a 3.5-kilometer walk through Muharrek's old city, connecting historic buildings tied to the pearl trade. It's less a path, more a suggestion. Narrow alleys, dusty streets, and the occasional "are we lost" moment. You'll see merchant houses with intricate courtyards, modest divers' quarters, and bustling souks. The path is a living, breathing slice of history. No sanitized museum, just real life with all its mess and charm. One minute you're admiring 19th century architecture, the next dodging a Land Cruiser. The contrast between old and new is striking, and the authenticity is undeniable. Don't expect Disney, expect to sweat, get a little lost, and be genuinely charmed. It's a tangible link to Bahrain's soul, shaped by the sea, not just oil. Wear comfy shoes, bring water, and maybe a GPS. You'll need it. Let's talk about what you won't find in glossy brochures, those picture-perfect images carefully curated to showcase only the best. We're going to delve into a chapter of Bahrain's history that often goes unmentioned in travel guides. Bahrain's 2011 uprising, a pivotal moment that revealed deep-seated tensions within the island nation. While the Arab Spring swept the region, igniting calls for democracy and change across the Middle East and North Africa, Bahrain became a stage for its own drama. A unique and complex situation unfolded, driven by local factors and long-standing grievances. Protesters gathered at the Pearl Roundabout, a central location that quickly became the epicenter of the movement, demanding reforms, calling for greater political participation and a more equitable society, and an end to sectarian discrimination. They sought to bridge the divide between the Shia majority and the Sunni ruling class. The government responded with force, attempting to quell the unrest and maintain control. And the crisis shook the nation. It exposed vulnerabilities and deepened existing divisions within Bahraini society. Bahrain's unique tension, a Sunni monarchy ruling a Shia majority population, a demographic reality that has shaped the country's political landscape for generations, fueling decades of unrest. This tension has manifested in various forms of civil disobedience and political activism throughout Bahrain's modern history. The 2011 protests brought these issues to the surface, amplifying the voices of those who felt marginalized and disenfranchised. But the government blamed foreign plots, deflecting attention from the underlying causes of the discontent, sidestepping real grievances. The government's narrative often clashed with the lived experiences of many Bahrainis. The Pearl Roundabout, symbol of the movement, a physical representation of the people's aspirations for change and a more just society, was demolished, a controversial act that further inflamed tensions, an attempt to erase the memory. But the memory of the uprising and its demands persists in the minds of many Bahrainis. Today the protests are gone, the physical manifestations of the unrest have been removed from the streets. But the issues linger beneath the surface, continuing to shape the social and political dynamics of the country. Beneath a surface of quiet control, a sense of unease and unresolved tensions remains palpable in certain areas. For tourists, it's mostly invisible, easily overlooked amidst the modern infrastructure and bustling commercial centers. But understanding this history adds depth to your visit. It provides a richer and more nuanced perspective on Bahraini society. It explains the heavy police presence, a constant reminder of the underlying security concerns, and the sensitivity around politics. Certain topics may be considered off-limits or require careful navigation. Bahrain's story is one of resilience, a testament to the enduring spirit of its people, complexity, and unfinished business. A nation grappling with its past while striving for a more inclusive future. Progress isn't always a straight line. It often involves setbacks, compromises, and ongoing negotiations. And sometimes the silence says more than words. It speaks to the unspoken tensions and the ongoing search for reconciliation. Welcome to Manama, where the past and future collide daily. Start at Bab al Bahrain, gateway to the Manama Souk, a maze of spices, textiles, and gold. Haggle for a carpet, sip karak chai, and step back in time. Then look up at the glass and steel skyscrapers. The Bahrain World Trade Center and Financial Harbor dominate the skyline, symbols of modern ambition. Manama is a city of contrasts, ancient mosques, luxury malls, and construction sites all jumbled together. The city's layout? Confusing. Streets change names, traffic is wild and pedestrian-friendly is a work in progress. Sand and dust coat everything. A reminder this metropolis is built on a desert island, much of it reclaimed from the sea. Manama is always expanding, building over its own history while trying to preserve it. It's a city that hasn't quite decided what it wants to be, and that's part of its charm. Beautiful contradictions, ancient and new, all under the relentless Gulf sun. Welcome to the glorious jumble that is Manama. If the Gulf were a family, Bahrain's the creative cousin. Resourceful, a bit rebellious, and always interesting. Unlike its oil-rich neighbors, Bahrain's reserves are modest and running out. This forced Bahrain to innovate, becoming more liberal and open, at least by Gulf standards. For decades, it's been the weekend escape for Saudis seeking a relaxed vibe, movie theaters, women driving, and looser social rules. But Bahrain's independence is complicated. It relies heavily on Saudi Arabia, especially for political support. The 2011 uprising made this clear, when Saudi and Emirati forces intervened to support the government. Bahrain walks a tightrope, balancing its open cosmopolitan identity with the realities of powerful conservative neighbors. It's a subtle dance of diplomacy, culture, and survival. Less glitz than Dubai, more grit and nuance. The Gulf, but with more history and heart. And that's far more compelling than another giant mall. Bahrain is full of quirks. Start with the Tree of Life, a 400-year-old mesquite standing alone in the desert. Its survival a mystery or maybe a miracle. Then there's the driving roundabouts rule, and traffic is a ballet of near misses and bold moves. Turn signals? Optional. Visit Qalat al-Bahrain, a UNESCO fort layered with 4,000 years of history, where locals jog past ancient ruins like it's no big deal. In Bahrain, history isn't roped off, it's part of daily life. You can explore ancient burial mounds, then hit a water park or a British-style pub. The Al Fatih Grand Mosque stands minutes from expat bars and football matches. The country is a collage Dilmun ruins, Islamic tradition, British colonial echoes, and modern capitalism, all in a space smaller than New York City. It's quirky, contradictory, and utterly Bahraini. Here, the past and present aren't just neighbors, they're roommates. Expect the unexpected and embrace the randomness. That's the real Bahrain. And it's never boring. American travelers, listen up. Planning a trip to Bahrain? Bahrain's relatively easy to navigate, but a few cultural tips will save you from being that tourist. The one everyone remembers for the wrong reasons. Let's make sure your visit is smooth and respectful. Dress modestly, shoulders and knees covered. This is especially important to keep in mind as you explore the country. This is especially important at religious sites. It's a sign of respect and understanding. No need to cover your hair unless specifically requested, just show respect through your attire and behavior. The weekend is Friday and Saturday, so plan accordingly when it comes to business hours and local events. Friday mornings are quiet for prayers, most businesses are closed. Things pick up in the afternoon, so be patient and enjoy the slower pace. Greet people with As-salamu alaikum. It's a simple gesture that goes a long way. Handshakes are common, but let women offer first. This shows respect for their personal space and cultural norms. Never use your left hand to eat or pass things. The right hand is considered clean, and the left is not used for these purposes. Alcohol is available in licensed venues, primarily hotels and certain restaurants, but public drunkenness is a big no. Enjoy responsibly and keep it classy. What happens in the hotel bar stays there. Don't take the party to the streets. Keep the celebrations within the designated areas. Be careful with photos. Think before you click. Always ask before snapping photos of people, especially women. Also, avoid taking pictures of government or military sites altogether. Politics, just don't. It's best to steer clear of potentially sensitive subjects. The 2011 uprising and the current political climate are sensitive topics. Don't bring them up casually or in public discussions. Be a curious traveler, eager to learn and experience, not an amateur analyst trying to dissect complex issues. Respect the culture, show genuine interest, and you'll be welcomed with open arms. Bahrain is friendly and hospitable, but it values discretion and respect for its traditions. Blend in, observe local customs, and you'll have a much richer and more authentic experience. And maybe even master a roundabout, a true sign you're getting the hang of things. So is Bahrain worth a visit? If you want a perfectly polished, Instagram-ready vacation, maybe not. Go to Dubai. But if you crave nuance, history, and a place with an identity crisis, in the best way, then yes, absolutely. Bahrain isn't the richest or flashiest, but that's its appeal. You come for the layers, ancient Dilmun ruins, pearl diver legends, and the resilience of its people. Wander the Manama Souk, marvel at the Tree of Life, and see how a nation balances past and future. Bahrain will surprise, charm, and sometimes confuse you. It's a place of quiet conversations, not loud pronouncements. Here, tradition and modernity coexist in a delicate, beautiful balance. It's the Gulf's hidden gem, no longer a pearl, but something just as valuable. Go with an open mind, a sense of humor, and a willingness to look deeper. You might not master the roundabout, but you'll find something real. A place with stories to tell, full of progress and personality, and that's the Bahraini experience.